The views and opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of Access Fort Wayne, the Allen County Public Library, or any other supporting groups. If you'd like to produce a show, call us at 260-421-1250.
Welcome to Chef Eric's Cooking with local gourmet chef Eric Braun. A new kind of cooking show where the chef doesn't cook anything at all. That's right, folks, the studio audience does the cooking. Throw in some wine pairings and food tastings and you've got something really exciting. And now, give it up for Chef Eric.
Welcome. This is episode number 4. That's significant for us because when you get 4 in, you get your permanent time slot. And that's important. And then the next benchmark will be number 12. I got a full house tonight. My gosh, we're packed. That's wonderful. As with every show, you're going to know what we're going to be doing by looking at the backdrop. So we're doing some this is early fall, so we're going to be doing some early fall salads, sandwiches. And then next month will be the beginning of early winter, so we're going to be doing some other things. We'll talk about that when that happens. So as you know, I don't cook. A lot of people still don't believe that I have a cooking show where I don't cook, but that is exactly the case. So what I want to do is bring up my first victim. He is a client of ours and as someone who we enjoy being with. So let's give it up for Austin. So have I cooked for you before?
Yes.
What is it? Everyone that's on this show as a guest of mine is someone that I've cooked for before. I don't understand why that is, but it's something, maybe it's because I've cooked for you. So we're going to sanitize our hands right here. So this will kill 99.9% of anything that's out there. So we're going to be making an old world Italian meat sandwich. So if you look over there, I mislead. I prepare all this stuff in advance so it doesn't cause my guests too much difficulty. But grab those 2 trays right there. Tray number 1, put it right here. And then tray number 2, put kind of like right next to it. So we're going to be making
a chef.
Just kind of right there.
Perfect.
So let's go ahead and open up that baguette right here. So let's open up the baguette. Now this is really a fantastic sandwich. Voila!
Perfect.
How did that happen? Oh my gosh! The magic of TV. So let's go ahead and put some mayonnaise. So take your spoon and slather some mayonnaise all over the bread thinly on both sides. Yep, keep going. That's good. A good sandwich like this has to have a mayonnaise base to cut some of the spices that the old world meats and cheeses have on them.
Your thin and my thin are different.
Yeah, well, my thin and my fat and your fat are different too, so I think that just kind of goes without saying.
Perfect.
Okay, now just a little slather up there, just a little bit. Okay. Now you're going to see over there, Austin, some Italian seasoning in a spice jar, like right there. There you go.
Perfect.
So yeah, on the set, you just put it to the side. We're good. So just open that up. And let's go ahead and just sprinkle. What I'm doing is I'm infusing the mayonnaise with, and I like to layer flavor when we do cooking. So we're going to be layering flavor a little bit here. So that's a nice Italian seasoning. Okay, that's good. So now let's start assembling the sandwich, Mr. Austin. Let's start with each meat and go down.
How much?
Well, use it all.
Use it all. Perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep going. Faster. Faster. There you go. Faster. Faster. All right, now go to the next meat. That is capicola, an old world Italian ham. Capicola. The first was Italian pepperoni.
Next.
Okay, so now let's go ahead and we'll put some cheese on it. That is Gouda cheese. Which
all
is
of
very
it?
Gouda. Yes. There's a theme here. Yes,
all of it.
All of it. All of it. Okay, now let's go back to the meat. That's some Genoa salami. Very good. Yes, all of it. Okay. Then let's go ahead and do the cheese. See how fast sandwich making is?
Swiss?
Swiss.
Swiss, hey.
Swiss. And I know a lot of cooking shows say, well, you can use this, you can use that. If you want to do this, if you want to change that, that really sometimes kind of bothers me because this is what I'm using. Okay. However, if you want to use different cheeses and meats, you can. I prefer to use this stuff. Then we put the last cotto salami on the top there. Hey,
Can't get any faster than
that's
that.
the Subway move.
That's
man. That's the
easy.
Subway move. You're doing great. So let's put some tomatoes on that sandwich. They're already sliced. Who did that? Who did that? Okay. Then let's go ahead and we won't use that. Then grab your black olives. Black olives on an Italian sandwich just adds a earthiness and a depth of flavor that is just really, really wonderful. Okay, then let's take some Italian dressing that I made. Stir it up just a little bit. Then you want to drizzle that, Austin, all over the top. See upside camera working? Hi, you up there? See my hand?
Drizzle it like this.
Let me show you how to drizzle. Always drizzle high. It just looks better.
Okay.
Okay, drizzle high. Really is meaningless, but it just looks good. Oh, I'm cooking. Sorry.
That's okay. You were
Here we go.
teaching too.
Right, I was teaching. The higher you go, the better it looks. Okay. I think we're high enough.
Perfect.
Then let's put a little salt on here. All these old world sandwiches have to have salt and pepper, so sprinkle some salt. That's just a shaker. Okay, then I'm going to show you the chef pepper turn. You can you do that? You can see these guys do that on the shows. You just got to do that. That was kind of a little more manly. A little more manly. Come on, man up, dude. All right, just so you know, it's the holding of it. You got to hold this like that. It's the angle. It's all about.
Gotta hold it that way.
It's all about the angle. Okay, it's really crucial. Sometimes you get your shoulder into it, and it even makes it look better. Understand? All right, now let's top this off. Top her up. Put the top there. Top her up. There we go. Now grab those toothpicks over there. Somebody pre-made the toothpick. So take the toothpick, put one right there. Stick it all the way in, because that's going to hold the sandwich together. Go down a little bit. Okay, keep moving down. And then what we're going to do, let's say you're having a poker party. Let's say you're having a Super Bowl party. Those are your slicing markings. Those are your markings. They also add as a way to hold the sandwich together.
Well, someone's going to get a bigger slice than someone else if
That's
they
right.
attend my party.
Okay, you're good. You probably need to move this down just a little bit.
This
there,
one?
Chief. Yeah.
We can do that.
Have you ever used one of these before?
No.
It's very, very sharp.
Okay.
So just start slicing, and as you slice, put each one over there. Okay? Keep your fingers away. Okay?
So move it as I cut it.
Yeah. Move it as you cut it. I think we can get him a job at Subway, don't you think? Austin is a real estate broker, so if he worked at Subway cutting sandwiches, he'd be selling the development and building new shopping centers next across the street.
We're going to go with for speed.
Now, what you need to do in the next slice is while you're slicing, look at the camera. Smile, okay? Or give a nice, like a gnarly grin while you're sawing, okay?
Someone's going to get a big piece.
Okay, that's going to be you.
I'm hungry.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right, now put that one there. Now, what I want you to do is pick it up. You know the proper way to eat a sandwich like this, don't you? You hunch over. You got to hunch. Okay, now remove the pickle though, so you don't break a tooth. There you go. Now hunch over. Bend the legs.
Take it.
Get it down. Okay. Do the haunch. Take a big, huge, manly man bite. Isn't that good? Isn't that good? All right. Excellent work. Okay, Austin, thank you very much. If you would take your platter and deliver it to the buffet line, and then we can move on to the next sandwich. I think Austin would do great working for me in the kitchen sometimes. Okay, I wanted to take a note about something. You see these cufflinks? Have you ever seen a chef coat with cufflinks? No. Neither have I. Neither have I. Well, these are my father's. These are my father's favorite cufflinks. And we lost Dad about 4 years ago. But as they say in Vegas, he had a good run at the roulette table. But my mother knew that I always admired these cufflinks. So she gave them to me as a gift, as a memento of my father. And so I had the bright idea of what am I going to do with these things? So I thought, gosh, you know, Dad always loved my cooking. He voraciously ate my food. So I went to a local tailor and asked him to custom make me a chef coat with cufflinks. And he went nuts. He thought this was the best thing. He's never seen it. He wants me to open up a line of chef coats that all have cufflinks in them. He'll help design them. The guy is freaking out because he's never seen a chef coat with cufflinks. So these are my dad's, and I wanted to share that with you. I'm very proud to be able to have these tonight. So we have our next volunteer, our next victim. Give it up for Kelly, please. Hello, Kelly. How are you?
Doing well.
Nice to see you. Have I cooked for you?
You sure have.
What? I'm never going to get used to that. So we're going to sanitize the hens now. It's a ritual. We're going to sanitize. Okay. So what do you think you're making? Do you have any idea what you're going to be making?
I have no idea.
I didn't tell you, did I?
Did not.
Okay, we're going to be making roast beef salad sliders. Ooh. So if you turn to your right, there's your tray right there. See that big black tray right there with Kelly's name on it? Mm-hmm. That's yours.
All right.
So pick it up, walk to the left, put it right there. You go. Okay. Now this is a very quick and easy salad. I love making ham salad. I love making chicken salad. You had some of that stuff tonight. But I also love making roast beef salad. And a roast beef salad is perfect for sandwiches. It really and truly is. So this is really easy. This is just really simple. So remove the lid of the processor. There you go. And then let's take this knife and let's chop up the roast beef that's in there.
Okay.
Now when you're chopping, Kelly, I want you to look at the camera and kind of while you're chopping. Can you do that?
Sure.
Okay. Looking? Yeah.
And we're looking.
Right, there you go. Okay, we got that. You gotta work the camera. Always have to work the camera. Now granted, we're putting this in a food processor, so this is gonna be chopped. However, we want to kind of pre-chop it. All right, in there. Now the base of this obviously is mayonnaise. So we've got some mayonnaise here for you.
Okay.
Go ahead and take this spoon and put, maybe 4 tablespoons in there. As you can see, I specifically, minutely measure everything that we put into our food. That's a good start. Then let's go ahead and get the Parmesan cheese. Just kind of open it up and just kind of.
Just whatever. Mm-hmm. All right.
Now, a lot of people say never use the Parmesan cheese that comes in this container. Well, I'm telling you one thing. I love using it because it's so highly chopped, and I use it as salt. Many times I don't salt things when I have Parmesan cheese in them. So now let's get some horsey radish. You tell me how much you want to put in there, Kelly.
I know a little goes a long way.
Yes. You want it to be powerful?
I'm going to do 3 of them.
3?
How's that sound?
Sounds good. I do 5, but.
Whoa. Okay, how about
3?
4?
No.
4, we'll split.
Okay, we'll split the difference.
Split the difference.
Okay, so we got Parmesan cheese in there. We got mayonnaise. We got horseradish. What do you think we're going to do next?
I'm going to go with French fried onions.
That's true, but we're going to blend it first.
Okay.
Now remember, just like when you do the knife, you look at the camera when you're pulsing and you have this like Can you do that?
Sure.
You gotta, come on now, get down with it. Come on, really look at that camera. Okay. Now what do you think? Nope, just
Nope.
a little bit more.
'Kay.
You weren't gnarly enough.
Oh, man.
I want snarl. I want Rocky Balboa snarl. Kind of feels good, doesn't it?
It
Releases
does. It
stress.
does. Yep.
All right, now what does a
minute.
good chef always do?
Taste.
All right, so let's go ahead and taste. Remember, we compromised on the 3 to the 5, 1 to the
right.
4. What do you think? Does it need anything?
I'd actually be okay adding more.
Adding more? Well, then let's do so. Let's get you a
Yep.
clean spoon.
I'm kind of wimpy, so I think everyone can handle it if there's more.
Yep. This is not a wimpy cook. Not a wimpy cook.
There we go.
All right. And I would suggest putting some cracked pepper in there. Now, can you do the pepper grinder better than Austin did?
I don't know.
Can you get that shoulder
It
in there
looked
and just kind
aggressive.
of? That looked aggressive.
To me,
You
that's
probably
not how
won't
I
tip me
do
very
it.
well now at my next event. So remember, it's all part of the show, Austin. It's all part of the show. So come on now. That's good. That's good.
Okay.
That's good. Now let's go ahead and process it again. Yeah, really works out, doesn't it? There we go. All right. Remember, look at this camera now.
No. Hi there.
Follow the red light. Okay.
Complicated.
Okay, that's good. Haven't you ever seen, like, on the news where, like, the news reporter is looking over this, all of a sudden? Have you all seen that, right?
Oh.
Well, that's because the little lights are blinking, okay? So now we're going to do a quick slider. So let's go ahead and cut your slider buns right there. Don't hurt yourself.
Well, the baguette was pre-cut. I'm
Well-
having to work a lot harder.
I didn't want to put Austin out too much.
Oh, I understand.
Now let's go ahead and put some horseradish on there. Take a spoon
Okay.
and make yourself a sandwich.
Just on the,
Yep.
put some
No,
horsey.
no, I am so sorry. I did not mean to use the word horseradish.
Okay.
I meant to use the word roast beef.
Okay.
So put some of that roast beef on there.
All right.
You're making a sandwich now. My wife's always doing that to me. Why are you talking about asparagus right now? We're talking about cauliflower. Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay, now that's the good part. Now, you mentioned earlier about the onions. So now we're going to do the onions. So let's put that down.
Okay.
Grab some onions. Your hands are sanitized, so we're good. So you put as much onions on there as you would like. Reach in there and grab them. It's fine.
That looks like a winner.
Okay. All right, now you know what's next, don't you?
I get to eat it?
Put a top on it. Yes, you do. You get to eat it.
Okay.
Now, get the haunch going now.
All right.
Squat the knees. Okay, there
Okay.
you go. Get it right. Get the proper form.
Is this it?
Yes.
Okay.
Now look at the camera and
right.
gnarl. All right. Isn't that good? Isn't that really good? Okay. Well, thank you, Kelly. We'll just go ahead and go back and have some more wine if you'd like, and I'll
Do I
tidy up.
get to keep this?
Absolutely. Take it with you, dear.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. I'm going to tidy up here a little bit. The angles of the haunching is really important. You have to understand there's a science. There is a science behind that. And it's very important to make sure that you have those things going on when you're doing it. Now, we have a very special volunteer this evening that's going to be cooking for us. Her name is Josephine, and that name, I did not plan this at all. I had no idea. But my grandmother's name was Josephine, and I loved her very, very much. She was an inspiration to me to be a cook, as was my mother and father. So little Josephine is a budding young chef, and a business associate of mine asked if she could come on to the show sometime. And so tonight is her big day. So let's all give Josephine a round of applause. Come on, Josephine. You know, you're about just as tall as my grandmother was, too. You are. So I brought something very special for Josephine today. Since you're what, 10 years old?
Yes.
10 years old. I'm going to have you make Chef Eric's gourmet PB&J. Do you like PB&J? Mm-hmm. So here's all your stuff right here. You want to come over this way. So the first thing you want to do is grab your pieces of bread. and lay them out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait. My bad. We have to sanitize the hands, dear. You can never sanitize your hands enough when you're cooking. Never enough. Okay, that's good. Now bring your sandwiches out. Turn them this way. There you go. One more. Oh, that's fine. You're right. That's fine. So now we are going to be using Nutella. Isn't the flavor of Nutella just fantastic? You know what Nutella is, don't you? Okay. So let's slather a good amount on there. Now when you're slathering, look at the camera right up there. Okay. Can you look at the camera? There it is right there. See the red light? Right there. Okay, a little more slather. I have served this peanut butter and jelly sandwich to local business leaders, and they have told me it's the best. Where did you come up with this? Okay, that's good. Very good slathering. Now let's go ahead and grab the red raspberry preserves and use a spoon and slather those, please. I think red raspberry works best for this. I see you have cooked in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Most 10-year-olds don't know how to slather. Okay, that's good. Now here's what's part of the key to this sandwich, Josephine. Do you like bacon?
Yes.
Who doesn't like bacon?
My sister, she calls it devil's food.
Devil's food. Well, we'll talk to her about that on Halloween. So let's put 4 strips of this bacon right on top of that sandwich. This really is delicious. Okay, very good. Now the last part of this, what makes this sandwich so good is the macadamia nuts. So take those macadamia nuts and sprinkle them. Okay, very good. Now what you want to do is put the lid on the sandwich. Okay. And let's cut it in 2. Do you like to do straight or diagonal?
Straight.
Okay. You have a nice straight cut. No, look at the camera again. All right. Very good. Now you get to do what everyone else got to do. Pick up the sandwich. Oops. Pick it up. Okay. Bend your knees. Look at the camera. Hunch. Okay. Bite. Now. Isn't that good? Isn't that really good? Okay, let's give Josephine a round of applause, please. You can head back to your seat now, dear. Go ahead. Thank you. Thank you very much. I just love stuff like that. But there really is, the term henchman comes from the king had men around him always doing things for him, okay? Well, they would hunch down. So the term went from henchman to hunchman because they always were hunching. And so that's part of the history of that. One of the unique things about our show is that we pair wine with food. We are pretty well versed in that endeavor. So I'd like to invite George, our business partner and wine steward. Let's give George a round of applause, please. One of the things that we do on the show is every month we feature a different winery from Indiana. So there's 84 wineries in Indiana, and this will be our 4th. So I'll let George take over.
Tonight we're featuring Bradley Winery. It's up near Fremont. It's a rather little small boutique little winery, and they have some very unique wines. They're one of the few wineries in this area that actually make a dry rosé. Most people are familiar with the blush wines. Most of them are thought to be very sweet. You will find that the French version, as well as this particular one, is a nice dry red, actually blush. It's made up of 5 different grape types, and that's not uncommon with rosés. And what's unique about this is that this is an estate-grown wine, which means that all the grapes that went into this were grown right on the property. So
And
that's
now
rather,
what food would this go with today that we prepared?
well, I'm doing this in somewhat reverse order. This would go with our peanut butter and jelly.
Sorry you can't have any, Josephine. But we'll let Grandpa taste some.
The next wine is one of my favorites. This is a Petite Syrah. The history of this goes back quite early in the whole winemaking process. It actually is derived from a grape that is just about extinct, with the exception of where it's grown in California. Petit Syrahs are very cab-like in flavor, and they're almost opaque in their color. Almost all wines are a little translucent when you put them in a glass. Petit Syrahs are very, very dark. They're like Indian ink.
And what's the last one, George?
And the last one we have over here is a Cabernet Franc. This is the
It's nice to be your own boss. You can drink on the job. Isn't that a nice deal?
The Cabernet Franc is actually one of the parents of the Cabernet Sauvignon. So what became the Cab started off as a Cabernet Franc. It's not as big, not as bold as a Cab, but it's just as fruity. It have a lot of berry fruit, a lot of blackberry fruit to it.
It is very good.
And both of these do really well with
So the-
red meats, and this would go very well with salads.
So the second wine would go with what we cooked today?
Yes, this would have gone with, well, you could either switch them up, but they
Okay.
would have gone with either one of our first two sandwiches. And they could have
Okay.
almost been interchanged to go with that.
All right, very good. Well, let's give George a round of applause, please. Thank you. I'd like to invite my wife of 32 years, Jennifer, to come up. She's the wind beneath my wings. Jennifer does all of our set decorations, and she also does all of our tablescapes when we do dinners in people's homes. And she also is an Indiana State champion baker. So she is a very, very, very integral part of what we do with our business. We are very happy to be here today and share our passion for food and wine. And she also does the books. She also does the books, too.
A lot of different hats.
Yeah, a lot of different hats. So we'd like to invite you to come back another time. And I close the show every time with the same thing. I want you to live well. I want you to be well. But most of all, I want you to eat well. Good night. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's show. I want to thank all of our local sponsors as well as our national sponsors. Also want to thank the studio audience and the great folks here at All Access Studio, all the crew. Join me next time when we'll be featuring 2 winter casseroles. See you next time on Chef Eric's Cookin'.